Alright guys, we're going to take a break from the golf cart and we're going to work on Mark's motor here a little bit. Twisted Vtwin Garage's Pro Vtwin. What we're going to do now is these are removable weights off this flywheel. We're going to put some Loctite on the bolts that hold them in here, and we're going to torque these things. They get torqued to 45 foot-pounds, and they take a 12-point socket. I got specialty sockets made just for doing these. Same with the connecting rods. They have the same style head on the bolts. So I'm gonna put those in there. There's that. I got the socket, got the torque wrench already all set up. So I'm gonna bring you all back whenever I get ready to actually torque them. So we'll be right back. Alright guys, I got those hand tight now. So we're gonna go ahead and torque these things. I've already got my torque wrench set to the, I thought I had them hand tight. Apparently my hand's not strong as my leverage on this torque wrench. Here we go. Alright, there's that one. Okay. Alright guys, there's the counterweights all torqued on there, Loctited, ready to go. That's ready to go in the engine. We'll set that off to the side. Next thing we'll do is check the end gap on the rings. I'll get that all set up, and we will bring you back when we're ready to do that one. Alright guys, I got this ring down in here. This is the top ring, and I always square it up with the piston, make sure it's, you know, square all the way around. And I don't know if you guys can see right down in there, there is absolutely no gap in that ring at all. So I'll get that pulled back out. We'll get it on the filer, get a little bit taken off. There's supposed to be 14 thousandths clearance in there, and I'm gonna turn the camera around here for you guys can see how you do that. So I'll bring you back whenever I get this ring out of here and get it on the filer. Alright guys, got the filer cell set up here, got the ring here, and the way this works is you push the ring up against these two pins here, and you kind of hold down on it a little bit there and just give it a little bit of a turn. And just file them off there. Now I will go back and take a little file here to the end of these and make sure that they're not burred or anything. You don't want to burr on to score the cylinder, so I'll move the camera around and get this ring back in here, and we'll see how she fits. Alright guys, I got a little bit of a visible gap in there right now, but she's still not at 14 thousandths, so I'm going to pull her back out and do a little more filing on it, and then we'll bring you back when we get her. Alright guys, we're back. We got our 14 thousandth gauge here, filler gauge. We're going to drop her down in there, and that is absolutely perfect. Just a little bit of resistance there. So we're good on that one. Like I said, I'll go back and take a piece of emery cloth and clean the end of it up a little bit. But if you guys do these yourself, just remember, just a few cranks on that file machine there. Check it, keep checking it. This one here took me about 15 minutes. I go about 3 or 4 cranks on it, test it, keep upsizing my, I started at like 8 thousandths, went to 10, and finally we're getting close, and then I just take a couple passes and keep checking it. You can always take more off. It's really hard to put them back on. So, and motor like this, you know, you want your tolerances, you know, pretty tight. So I'm gonna go ahead and do the that was the top ring. I'm gonna go ahead and do the second down ring, and get it done. That one gets set to 16 thousandths. When I get that all done, we'll bring you back when we're putting the rings on the pistons, getting ready to put them in the bore there. But first we'll plastic gauge the connecting rods. Then we'll assemble the connecting rods to the pistons after we get the rings and stuff on. So we'll bring you back in. Alright guys, I got all set up here, my jig to test this rod clearance on the crank. I got plastic gauge in there. I don't know if you guys can see it, like it's right up in there somewhere, right there above my finger there. And what this does is you put the rod caps on, torque them to spec, take them back apart, and then there's a little chart on the package. It tells you how much clearance you got. This thing will focus. I don't know if it'll focus or not, but anyways, each one of those red lines is a different thickness. Well, the red and white both, and there's a certain spec you got to have. All your engine builders are different, you know, but I'll get one of these caps torqued on here, or actually both of them torqued on, pull it back apart, and we'll show you what it looks like after you do that. Alright guys, I got those all plastic gauged and measured. Sorry I didn't get it on camera, but my battery went dead, and I wasn't looking at the viewfinder. I was looking at the crank itself and everything when I was doing it. But we got about 0.005 thousandths of an inch clearance. That's well within tolerance. So we're going to run with that. And next we're going to move on to putting the rings on the piston. I've already got the oil scraper ring on. It's super easy to do. But next we're going to do the middle ring and then the top ring. And when you're putting these on, I've always been taught that this number right here faces upward. And the easiest way to do it, I see a lot of people doing them just by hand. But I like to use my little snap ring or my pliers here. You just open it up real gingerly and don't let it snap out. It's easier to do off camera. There we go. And she snaps right down in there. They're on. And when we put the piston ring compressor on there, it'll suck her right in. Be done. Now when I do my rings, when I set my rings to put them in the bore, I do halves. I don't know what everybody else does, but I do mine 90 degrees from one another, and that's how I've always done it. It's always worked for me. So we'll get this one here on. There's that one. There's the rings on. Next we'll get the connecting rod put on here with the pin and keepers, and we'll be ready to drop this down in the bore. So let me get set up, and I'll get the pins ready, and we'll start putting this one together. Alright guys, we're going to put the connecting rod on the piston. Always use ample assembly lube when you're doing these. There's a snap ring down in here, right in that groove right there. I've already put that one in, so we'll start the pin on this side here. Get that connecting rod lined up, and whoop, I forgot, I just told you guys to use assembly lube. I'm not a little bit's good, more is better. So, and then all you do is just line it up, push it over, seat it down in against that one on the other side there. I'm sorry you're off camera. I seat it down against that side over there, and then there's a little ring here that if you don't jam one of these suckers into your finger at least once when you're doing one of these engines, you're not doing something right. So I'm going to try to do it here on camera, and not cuss and swear and everything else. So alright, I'll bring you guys back once I get that in there, because I can't do it working around the camera here. Alright everybody, we got the piston rings put on the pistons, got the rods put in, everything. Next thing we're going to do is get the ring compressor out and lube the skirts and stuff up, and lube the compressor up, and we're going to drop these pistons down in this block. Well, first I'm going to put the crank in the block. Always plenty of assembly lube. Get that all, you know, slick and ready to go, and slide her in there. So we'll get that ready to go and bring you back when it's time to do that. Alright guys, we're ready to put the ring compressor on there and get ready to drop these down in this block. One thing on these ring compressors, there's little tabs here, little knot bump outs on these, on the outside edges. That goes down. That's to keep the ring compressor from sliding down in your block. But yeah, like I said, just plenty of lube. Little's good, more's better. Never want to stick it in dry. So make sure you get all the surfaces up around all the rings, everything. This is pretty critical doing this. Like I said, you don't want to dry fit. So, and on these command rods, this bump out faces up. So all you do is just slide it in, and I already made sure my rings were clocked right. I'll drop some tools. And then just tighten that up around there. Don't have to be super tight, just enough to compress the rings. There it is. That needs a little bit more, it looks like. There, I looked down in there. You can see this ring on this side over here sticking out a little bit. So we'll give her a little bit more. Alright. That ring's not wanting to go in, so I'm going to shut the camera off. See why that ring's not pushing back in, and we'll bring y'all back. Alright guys, I got her now. What the issue was is this inner lip of this ring compressor was actually catching on the ring, so got it all good and tight around there, or snug I should say. We'll get ready. I'm going to lube up the cylinder and we'll bring you back and show you how to drop these, how to get these things in. Alright guys, I got the rod cap off the end. Make sure you take the rod cap off, and I always put the skirt out, the piston out of the bottom of the compressor a little bit, get it lined up, set it in there, make sure your connecting rod is lined up, and turn the crank so that the journal's in. I take a blunt end of a hammer, alright guys, there you go. Sorry I bumped the camera there for a second, but that piston's in. I'll spin it around and I'll do the other side of the block and bring you guys back whenever I get all that done. Alright guys, I got both pistons down in there. I got the first connecting rod on and torqued up. Getting ready to torque the last board on the last connecting rod. These rods get torqued to 25 foot-pounds, 300 inch-pounds, and I usually go over them twice just to double check myself. It's almost there. There's that. There's that. Check these ones. There's that one. Alright. There's all of that. So the other thing I wanted to kind of show you guys on these big motors, not stock, we key the flywheel or key the cam gear onto the crank. You can key them, you can TIG weld them, whichever way you want to do it, but that keeps them from wanting to spin and come off at the higher RPMs that we run them. So I think I'm going to end the video here. Probably been yakking along long enough. In the next video, we're going to put the cam in, degree it, cam lifters, and we'll degree the cam in and get that all set. And I'll show you guys how that's done. And appreciate y'all for watching. Thanks for stopping by. If you're new to the channel, please hit the subscribe button. Give me a like. Leave me a comment if it's something you like, don't like. Got any questions? I'm willing to answer them. So for now, y'all take it easy, and we're out of here. Bye.